Hey guys, this is the sewing video for the bustier top I made earlier. So let's get started. So I went ahead to lay the fabric and then place my pattern on it to cut out. I'm going to be adding 0.5 inches seam allowance all round, and then at the waist I'll be adding 1 inch. So I added half inch to the inseam, as you can see, 1 inch to the waist, and then at the upper part I added half inch. I've already added 0.5 at the side seam. So make sure you make notches at the under bust, at the bust point, and then on the bust line, so that when you are joining, you know how you are going to place them together. So as you can see, I made notches at every point on the front. I also went ahead to cut it on a lining as well, so you can see the lining beneath. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to work on the front. So I went ahead to label the wrong side of the fabric, or mark the wrong side of the fabric. So at this point I'm going to pad the front, so I'll be using this bra foam. I'll be using this bra foam for the padding. So first thing I'm going to be doing is to place the fabric on the bra foam, and then I'll be cutting it to the under bust where there's the last notch over there. So you are cutting to that point. So I went ahead to place it on again and then fold it to the point I made the notches. Then I'll go ahead and then cut out. If you want to see the pattern video for this, I've already uploaded it on my channel. So you go ahead and then watch it. So like I said, I went ahead to cut out, and then this is what I have. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out ½ inch from the upper part. This will enable us turn with ease. If you don't cut it out and you stitch, that part is going to be bulky. So make sure you cut out that ½ inch. Next, I'm going to be cutting the side of the blouse. So like we did for the front, you are cutting to the under bust. To the under bust. I'm going to show you after cutting. Yeah, so at the under bust point, I went ahead to cut out the excess foam from the foam. So to shape the side, I'm going to be marking the seam allowance I added, which is 1.5, and then after marking the 1.5, I'll be going in by 1.5 again. So I'm going in by 3 inches. So whatever seam allowance you added, you take 1.5 from that side in. So if you think this 1.5 deduction is too big or too small, you go ahead and then deduct 1 more inch from it and then shape it like I'm doing. So like I said, I took 1.5 from the side because I added 1.5 seam allowance, and then after the seam allowance I went ahead to take 1.5 inches again, but then I realized that 1.5 was too small, so I went in by 1 inch again. So at this point, I'm going to cut out the ½ inch from the top like I did for the center part of the blouse. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to open it up and then place it on just like this. I'll be using an interfacing or a hermet to stick it together. So whilst cutting, I mistakenly cut out the center part of the blouse, so I've replaced it with a black fabric. So that is why I've changed the fabric. So I'll be placing this on top of it like this. You see there's ½ inch seam allowance at the upper part, and then I'll be cutting it on this helmet or interface, and I don't really know what it's called, but it sticks on both sides. I'll be cutting this on each foam or with each foam. Yes, and then after that, it's going to be at the center of the fabric and then the foam. So this is how I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be placing the foam on top of it like this and then press it. So I'm going to be repeating the same step on all the foams. So this is what I mean. So after pressing them, this is what I have, and then I'll be joining them together. So as you can see, the notches I made, make sure the notches are matching, especially the underbust. So I went ahead to stitch my 1/2 inch seam allowance on both sides, and then this is what I have. You can see it has taken shape already. So after that, I'll be trimming off the excess foam from there so that that place won't be bulky. But then while cutting, I realized the foam was very sticky on the fabric, so I went ahead to cut out both fabric and then the foam. But then I'll advise you to press it before cutting out the foam, because after cutting out the foam and then pressing is a bit difficult. So this is what I have after cutting out. You can see it's taking shape. So next I'll be pressing it, and like I said, it's advisable to press it whilst the seam allowance is bigger than to press it like this. Yeah, so that is it. After pressing, this is what I have. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the back pieces. So this is what I have for the back, and then I'm going to be joining the seams together. So I went ahead to mark the wrong sides, and then I'll pin them, take it to my machine and stitch. And then whilst you are working on the main fabric, make sure you are working on the lining as well. So if you have a medium or soft interface, you can actually apply it on the main fabric before you stitch. So I'll be joining the neck area or the neckline, the new neckline as well. So this is what I have, and then at this point I'll be joining the neckline for the front as well. So after joining, next thing I'll be doing is to stitch the lower part, that is the waist as well. Make sure the seams are matching, and then stitch whatever seam allowance you added. After stitching, I'll be snipping the upper part or the neckline for the front so that when I turn, it will look flat and then neat. I'll be doing same thing for the back as well. And after that, I'll be turning both front and back to the right side. Yeah, so this is what I mean by turning them. So after turning, I'll be pressing them down so that it lie down flat. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to add my seam allowances to the side. So I added 1.5 inches seam allowance to the side seam, but then after putting or inserting my body measurements, I had 2.5 inches. If you had excess, just go ahead and then put in your own body measurements again and then sew. This is because of the excess 1.5 seam allowance I added to the side seam for the darts at the upper part. So just don't worry, just put in your body measurements again and then mark and then sew. You are going to get a perfect fit after that. So next I'm going to be joining the back to the front like this and then sew my seam or side seam allowance. After sewing, this is what I have. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold my zipper allowance in and then insert my zip. So I'm folding 1 inch in on both sides like I added to the pattern, and then I'll go ahead and then fix my zip. So this zip actually can be opened at the lower part. I advise you to use this type of zip so that when you are wearing it, it becomes easy. So this is what I have for the bustier. I hope you enjoyed these tutorials. Don't forget to like, comment, and share my videos. Bye.